everyone, it's Stephanie, and today I'm here for another Manic Monday book review. Today I'm going to be talking about With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. So I read this book for a prompt in the Gilmore Girls Readathon, or the Gilmoreathon, which is the Twitter handle, and I absolutely adored it. The prompt was to pick a book that had food on the cover or had food as a central focus of the story, and this book had both. I'm going to insert a picture of the cover, and it is absolutely gorgeous. But anyway, I absolutely adored this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It follows the story of high school student Imani, and she is trying to finish up her high school career, and she is caught between so many things in her life. She has a 2-year-old at home, Emma, and she's also trying to balance school and work to help support Emma and her grandmother and herself. And she's also a fabulous cook, and her school just started offering a culinary arts class, and she is so interested in taking it. But the caveat is that there is a study abroad week in Spain, which the students are partially responsible for raising money for. So Imani has to go through this journey of figuring out how to raise that money while also taking care of Emma and balancing her work and her school and life in general, and it does get overwhelming. But I really enjoyed Imani's journey through this book. You can really tell that she grew a lot from the beginning of the book to the end. Imani is part African American and part Latinx, so those cultures combine, and the way Elizabeth Acevedo writes this into the story is so good. And this is actually an Own Voices novel. Elizabeth Acevedo herself is Afro-Latinx, so everything in this book was very genuine. And I loved that there's English and Spanish in the book, and the food that Imani makes is so rich and from her culture, and you can tell that it means a lot to her. And I also really like that there's recipes sprinkled in throughout the book, and she includes things to time it. So for example, she was making a recipe and she said let it simmer for the length of 3 Cardi B songs. So I just thought that was an interesting way to put it and a really fun twist on a recipe. Another thing I really liked was the family dynamics. Imani's mom is not in the picture. She has passed away, and her father is also an absentee father. He lives in Puerto Rico, and he only visits, I think, once a year. And he and Imani don't really have the best relationship. They don't really talk or communicate. So you can tell that really kind of affects her. She doesn't even call him dad or father. She calls him Julio, which just shows you how disconnected they are. However, you can really feel the love between Imani and her grandmother, or abuela, and their relationship is just really strong. They support each other and they're there for each other. They're both raising Emma and trying to just bring her up the best that they can. I also really like that this story isn't focused on an accidental pregnancy. It's focused on the aftermath. The decision's been made. When we enter the story, she has had the baby. Emma's 2 years old. And so the story is following the aftermath of that decision, which I think is a really unique spin, because most books, I think, focus on accidental pregnancy or getting pregnant and not really the aftermath of the decision that the mom makes. I also really appreciated the fact that Imani had to make a lot of hard choices. So she has to basically decide what's best for her while also trying to mesh what's best for her family. She's just in a really hard place. So She knows she wants to be a chef, that is her passion, but it's really hard to do that when you have a 2-year-old at home, especially when you are partially the breadwinner for the house. If Imani doesn't work, then some of their bills might not get paid, or they would just have no extra money for necessities. So it is a really hard choice, and I appreciated the fact that this is something that single moms go through all the time, and even some nuclear families. And just being able to see how much they struggle and how they persevere through that was really wonderful to see, especially because Boyla and Imani and Emma all rely on each other and encourage each other to do what's best for them. And I did listen to the audiobook. I don't have the physical book. And I will say Elizabeth Acevedo is one of the best audiobook narrators I've ever listened to. She's definitely one of my favorites. Her voice is like honey, and she has just a little bit of an accent that's just so beautiful to hear. And you can tell she just really reads from a place that she's passionate about. So you can really feel her emotions as she's reading. And I just love that. I've never read or listened to an audiobook by her that I have given less than 5 stars. So I definitely recommend this, especially if you're into YA contemporary, or you just want to read about a culture that's different than your own and you want to learn more about different types of people, and definitely the food. This book made me so hungry, and all the recipes sounded amazing. So I highly recommend this book. Definitely check it out. But as always, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button down below. And make sure to click the bell icon so that you can be notified anytime I upload new content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.